Welcome back to Transfer Talk on what has been a really busy Friday for transfer news with regard ins and outs of the Premier League. Now onto a transfer that got confirmed on Monday concerning the former Arsenal and West Ham midfielder Jack Wilshere, who has signed a short-term contract until the end of the season at Bournemouth. And I'm delighted to say we can speak to Jack live now. Jack, thanks so much for coming on the show. It's great to have you on, and even better to see you back in football. You were out of the game for 3 months, but now back at Bournemouth. You had some options on the table in Europe. Why did you feel like Bournemouth was the next and right move for you?
To be honest, it was not something that crossed my mind until I came down here and I started training with the boys. I got back into the swing of things, and I said before, ever since I came to this club 4 years ago, I felt welcome, and nothing really changed. And as soon as I found out there was an interest from the manager, I couldn't keep the smile off my face, and I think that's what told me it was the right thing to do.
Great to see you smiling. You signed for Bournemouth, as you've said there, on deadline day in 2016. How key was that loan spell in this decision, and what memories do you have of deadline day and, of course, that season?
Yeah, I think obviously that was the reason I felt comfortable enough to pick up the phone to Jace and ask him if I could come down and train. I still have a good relationship with him and many of the players here as well. So that was a big factor in my decision making. But also, this is a different stage of my career. The club's at in a different league, and there's different challenges, and I'm excited about the challenges that are coming up, and I can't wait to be involved.
You've mentioned Jason Tindall and how important he was in that decision. What was it like when you sort of picked up the phone to him? What did you say? Because obviously you left West Ham, you're in Dubai training and getting fit. You'd spent some time with the family. Did you ever envisage that you'd end up actually signing for Bournemouth?
No, honestly, I didn't. I think it was Christmas Eve when I picked the phone up to him, and I just said, "Look, Jace, I've been training on my own for a while now. I'd like it if I could come in and train with the team." And he was like, "Yeah, of course, you can come down and train with us." And as I said, ever since the first day I walked in, I was training with the group. I never was left on my own. All the boys were welcoming, and all that played a part in my decision.
Not a bad Christmas present. You got 12 minutes at Derby on Tuesday for your second debut. From what you've seen so far, does this squad have the makings of getting promoted from the Championship?
Yeah, I mean, it's a good squad. It's a different squad to when I was here. I'm not. I don't know the league that well to say what it takes to get out of it. I'm learning. I'm speaking to the manager. I'm playing with players who have played in this division before. But speaking with players, and one thing I know that it takes is a lot of character, a lot of hard work. And when I look through the squad here, there's young players and they have big characters who played in the Premier League. So I think we have what it takes to get out of the league. It's going to be difficult, of course, and we've had a couple of bad results. But now it's about bouncing back.
And finally, from me, Jack, do you still see yourself as a Premier League player? And what ambitions do you have for the future in terms of Bournemouth and maybe down the line a few years?
Well, this current moment in my career, I'm a Championship player. So no, I don't see myself as a Premier League player at the moment. I'm focused on the job on hand here, and I know it's a difficult league. I know that there's a lot of games. I know it brings different challenges to anything that I've ever experienced in my career, and I'm excited about that. I still feel like I have a lot to give to the game, and I'm excited to get playing some games now.
Hi, Jack.
Alex.
Just to ask you how you feel to be back in day-to-day training. Now you had 3 months out of the game and you missed being part of that environment. So how is it to be back?
Yeah, it's brilliant. I was so used to my whole life, my whole career, just going into training every day. And sometimes you take it for granted, but it made me realise my time away, how much I miss it, how much I love the game. And yeah, it's really good to be back.
And just going back on that again, regular training, being back in the training ground, and now you're looking forward to getting regular games.
Yeah, exactly. I've had a good block of training. I'm feeling fit. I feel sharp, but as well, it's a different type of fitness is required in games, and I feel like you can only get that from playing games. So yeah, I'm excited to hopefully get into the team as soon as possible.
And has it made you feel a love for football? Have you got a love of the game back?
Yeah, definitely. As I said, when you've been doing it for 10 years every day, sometimes you can take it for granted. And sometimes you'd wake up and you'd struggle and be like, I don't want to go in today. But it made me realise that how much I actually do love it, how much I miss being around the lads and being in that environment where there's pressure and you have to challenge yourself. And yeah, it was difficult, but now I'm back and I'm really excited.
And if it all went well for Bournemouth and the club was to get promoted into the Premier League, would you see yourself staying with the club?
I don't know. I mean, at the moment, my contract is till the end of the season, and I'm focused on literally trying to get this club back into the Premier League. If it all goes well, and we do, and then who knows, maybe. But at the moment, I'm just focused on the next 4 or 5 months and trying to get this club back in the Premier League.
And if I could just ask you about one of your former teammates from Arsenal, Mesut Ozil, what have you kind of made of his situation there, and what are your memories of him and the way he's left the club?
It's a difficult one because I'm not at the club anymore, and I'm like every other fan looking in. All I remember from him is what a joy it was to play with him. A top player, one of the best I played with. It's a shame the way it went at Arsenal, but I'm sure a lot of the fans will remember him for his early days there, and when we had a really good team, and we should have probably won a little bit more, but we won a couple of FA Cups, and yeah, it was a pleasure to play with him.
That's it from me. Thank you. Good luck.
Thank you.
Thanks, Alex, and we'll go to George Sessions from PA, please.
Hi, Jack. Hope
Hey,
all's well. Sort of sticking with the Mesut situation. I mean, for different reasons, you both haven't played it as much as you would have liked in 2020. I wondered, did you speak to him, much during that period in 2020 where you both weren't playing games and sort of spurred each other on to sort of keep going and believe it would turn around?
No, I was friends with Mesut during my time at Arsenal, and we had a really good relationship on and off the pitch, I thought. But no, I didn't speak to him. I mean, I'm sure it was as difficult for him as it was for me, and it's not nice to be in a position where you're not given that opportunity, a fair opportunity to try and challenge for a place in the team. And listen, people can have bad games and miss out on the team, but to not be given an opportunity is tough and was tough to take. So I'm happy that he's found happiness, and hopefully he can go on to be successful in Turkey. And
in terms of yourself, is getting game time this year the real thing that tops your motivation, sort of forgetting the outside noise and maybe longer term targets? Is it purely that you just want to sort of get back on a full pitch and have that smile on your face playing regular minutes again? Yeah,
definitely. Wherever it was going to be. I mean, after missing, too much football over the past, since lockdown really, when I've been really fit and got myself in a position where I thought I'd be able to play and wasn't. I wanted to come somewhere to play football, and I know there's a process when you join a club of you have to work hard in training. Obviously, the players that are here before have done well, and they're here for a reason. They're playing for a reason. So, I know it's what it's going to take to get into the team, but at least I'll be given an opportunity too.
And in terms of, I'm sure you had plenty of options when it comes to clubs. Was there many abroad? I know you spoke about that when you left West Ham, but that was something you might look at doing. Yeah,
I had options, a few different options around Europe, in Asia and places like that. But nothing. I go back to when my agent rang me, after after a week of training here, and say that Bournemouth want to do something. I was driving home and I couldn't stop smiling. So that felt right to me, and that's why I didn't have that feeling from any other club that made me want to do it. So this one felt right. Yeah, and just finally from me, in terms of Bournemouth, they're probably the only Championship club you would have signed for, because of your history with them. Yeah, I think so. I mean, I had options in the Championship as well, but as I said, none that made me feel the way Bournemouth did, and obviously I've got a special relationship with them after what we achieved when I was here before. We finished, I think it was 9th in the Premier League, which is the club's highest ever position in the league. So yeah, I had a good time here, and I had a special relationship with the fans, with the coaching staff and the players here, and that was a big reason. Yeah.
Cheers, Joe.
Thank you.